I got to talk to you about cold, right? So
Yeah.
before the podcast, Mike and I, it's kind of unique, but this bag that Mike has, which
Yeah, freezer bag.
it's a freezer bag, but it's purple. What I've never seen this kind of freezer bag, and it matches the beer with the purple and whatnot. So I just had to throw out the fact that I noticed that. But so we're about to start the podcast, and Mike says, how are we going to keep? Well, we talk about keeping the beer cold, and Mike says, well, put the ice under the beer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. For those of you that don't know, and I'm going to throw myself under the bus on this because I hadn't learned this until I was about 26. So
you did a little bit, Greg. You're a little bit off of the camera there.
So about 20 years ago, I learned this. But man, this is a life-changing. This is actually not just about keeping beer cold, okay? And it's going to dissect into a lot of different areas of life. So I'm 26 years old, and we just bought a lot of beer, and I'm preparing the cooler, and what's the first thing I do?
Put in the ice.
I dump the ice in.
Right. Because you're going to put the beer in top.
Well, you know what? My buddy Jim looks at me and, at 26, looks at me and kind of says, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? Preparing the cooler. He goes, he's an engineer, by the way. And I hate to admit, in this particular instance, he was a lot smarter than I. And I should have figured this out on my own, but I did not, right?
Right.
So he went on to explain, Hipper, you don't know how to prepare a cooler? I said, what are you talking about, Jim? And I think I was stubborn. I was 26, so I kind of took offense to what he was talking about, even though it's just beer and ice.
Right.
And he went on to say, look, you always put your drinks on the bottom because heat rises and the cold goes down.
That's true.
To a degree that should change your life. Now, this is what I mean by that. Now, with that said, whenever you're preparing a cooler, put drinks in first, put ice on top. In fact, you don't even have to drop the ice. You can keep it in the bag.
Yeah.
Drop the bag on top, and the cold is always going to go down. It's one of the laws of nature that you can depend on.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's big.
It's a rule.